In the Nevada desert, Empire looked like a dot on the map. But for the people inside it, this was the whole world built around one heartbeat. You don't really arrive in Empire. You drift toward it, miles of nothing, then a few streets, a few trees, and the shape of an industry. A fence is a simple thing, but here it felt like a sentence: one click, one lock, and a town's daily life suddenly on the other side. Without people, a street doesn't feel abandoned. It feels unfinished. Like someone paused the scene and forgot to press play again. Empire wasn't just near the factory. It belonged to its homes, routines, paychecks, and weekends, all orbiting one employer. In towns like this, the work follows you home. Dust settles on everything, quiet proof that the plant was never far away. Most places wake up with traffic and voices. Here, mornings used to begin with shift change, one clock, setting the pace for everyone. When a town collapses, it's not just jobs that vanish. It's the bell that never rings again, and the futures that had a place to begin. A water tower is built for the future capacity, growth, permanence. In Empire, it became something else, a tall reminder of how sure people once felt. Mailboxes are meant for small arrivals, letters, bills, good news. Here, the emptiness feels louder than any message that ever came through. When a town depends on one employer, every family story ties back to the same place. You don't just work there, you build your life around it. Then it happens the way it often does, quietly. A letter, a notice, a date on a calendar that turns a working town into a question mark. Before there was a town, there was a deposit in the earth, white, soft, and valuable. The kind of mineral that can build walls and build a whole life. Factories have a rhythm you can feel in your chest. In Empire, that rhythm wasn't background noise, it was the pulse that kept the town awake. Payday used to mean groceries, gas, school supplies, normal life. When the work stops, money becomes memory, and the future gets expensive. Empire was small enough that everyone's name mattered. In places like this, community isn't an idea, it's a daily habit you can hold in one hand. In a company town, leaving isn't just a choice, it's a schedule. One day, you're home. The next, your life is stacked in boxes under the same desert sky. Some goodbyes are loud. This one is quiet, just keys left behind. A final look around, and the feeling that a whole town is exhaling. A store is supposed to measure daily life: milk, coffee, small talk. When the shelves go empty, it's not just business closing, it's routine disappearing. When people leave, the town keeps doing its old job. Lights stay on, signs stay up, streets stay here. But the reason for all of it is gone. Dust collects the way time does, patiently, quietly, without asking permission. In Empire, it became the new wallpaper for homes that no longer needed to be lived in. Places meant for noise feel strange when they go quiet. A playground without laughter doesn't look broken, just paused, waiting for kids who won't come back. Some towns are so small, they feel like a footnote. But when they disappear, the map changes inside you because you remember where home used to be. When the plant goes quiet, it's not just machinery stopping. It's the sound of certainty ending one shift, one paycheck, one whole town at a time. Every home keeps the shape of the people who live there, steps worn smooth, paint touched too many times, small marks that outlast the moving truck. Power lines are built to connect people. In a ghost town, they become a question energy with no destination. Infrastructure with no life attached. An open door usually means welcome. Here, it feels like the last breath of a place air moving through rooms that don't have names in them anymore. The desert doesn't rush. It simply returns grain by grain, seed by seed, filling the spaces we leave behind as if they were always meant to be empty. In a company town, the brand isn't just on the buildings. It's on the rhythm of life, where you shop, where you live, and how you imagine tomorrow. A shutdown doesn't feel like a single moment. It arrives as a timeline, deadlines, notices, and dates that turn stability into a countdown. Empty windows do something to a street. They don't just reflect the sky, they reflect absence, like the town is looking back and seeing nothing there. When the employer leaves, the town doesn't close like a store. It gets dismantled, homes emptied, streets quieted, life packed up and sold away. From far away, the gypsum looks like snow that doesn't melt. A man-made landscape, bright, strange, and tied to the jobs that once kept Empire alive. Company housing can feel like safety until it doesn't. When your home is tied to your job, stability becomes conditional. Work boots tell a story without words: weight, repetition, endurance. Left behind, they feel like the shadow of the last shift that ever mattered here. A full parking lot is a town breathing people arriving, leaving, returning. An empty one is the opposite, a place built for movement that now holds still. You notice what's missing first, not the building's footsteps, the tiny evidence that someone is still moving through the day like it matters. A flagpole is meant for ceremony, holidays, gatherings, shared pride. Without people, it's just metal in the wind, waiting for an audience. In an empty house, even the systems feel lonely: switches, wires, breakers. All the hidden effort of modern life, still here, with no life to serve. A street name only matters when someone says it: meet me here, turn there. I live on this road. In Empire, the streets kept their names, but lost their voices. Empire wasn't built to be anything it wanted. It was built to be useful, efficient, close to work, shaped around one purpose. A clinic is where a town takes care of itself. Cuts, colds, checkups, worries. When it closes, it's another reminder that support can disappear fast. A library is supposed to hold voices, stories, knowledge, time. An empty shelf feels like a town forgetting how to talk to itself. You can picture the sound that should be here. The bounce, the laughter, the shout of one more. The hoop stays. The life around it doesn't. The desert is always working. It edits the town's slowly softening edges, filling cracks, turning sharp human lines into something more natural again. Ordinary notes can feel heartbreaking in an empty home. A grocery list is proof someone planned for tomorrow until tomorrow stopped showing up. An office like this used to translate work into life schedules, pay, paperwork. Now it's just a shell where decisions once changed everything. Dusk makes every town look softer. But in Empire, the lights come on for nobody, like the place is still trying to perform its old life. Empty rooms don't feel empty. They feel full of echoes, where a couch was, where a voice used to land, where life used to repeat every day. Even the warnings outlast the people. Signs stay posted, latches stay locked, like the town is still following rules that no longer matter. Places of faith are built for gathering. Without a community, the building still stands, but the purpose becomes silent, like a song with nobody left to sing it. In empty places, distance feels different. A hallway gets longer, a doorway feels heavier because there's no one at the end of it, waiting. Empire wasn't only dust and concrete. It had small patches of green trees that listened to every conversation, and now only hear the wind. Some evidence of living is too personal to move. A doorframe can hold years' tiny marks that say, someone grew up here. A notice board is meant for events, lost dogs, bake sales, and meetings. When it's blank, it isn't just empty paper, it's an empty calendar. In most places, towns fade into suburbs, then countryside. In Empire, the town ends, and the desert begins, like a reminder of what's always waiting. Sometimes the only sign of life is a set of tire tracks someone passed through, looked around, and kept going. That's what Empire became. A place you visit, not a place you stay. When Empire emptied out, work didn't vanish for everyone. Some people just drove farther. A longer commute, a different town, the same need to keep going. A mailbox is a promise. News will come, life will continue, someone will write. In a ghost town, the promise stays, but nothing arrives. At some point, every town becomes a memory in the rearview. Empire doesn't chase you, it just gets smaller, until it's only a thought. Names are supposed to anchor places, but some names become stories spoken with a pause, like everyone knows what happened without needing the details. Backyards are where life relaxes: barbecues, birthdays, ordinary evenings. In Empire, the backyard stayed, but the celebrations stopped. In company towns, houses can look the same. What made them different were the people voices, habits, small traditions that never show up in architecture. You never notice traffic until it's gone. The absence has a sound of its own, wide, hollow, and strangely permanent. Boarded windows are a final gesture, someone saying, "This chapter is closed," but the boards don't keep memories out, they just hide them. A kitchen table is where a day comes back together: meals, stories, arguments, laughter. In an empty house, it becomes a stage with no actors. Silence is different when you're expecting a ring. In Empire, the phones stopped being tools and started being proof that nobody was calling anymore. Even after people leave, a town keeps its shape: streets, roofs, corners. The outline remains, like a footprint pressed into the desert. A bus stop is built on expectation someone will come, someone will go. Here, it's only a landmark for waiting that never ends. Road towns survive on movement. When the movement stops, even a gas station feels like a museum built for travelers who no longer arrive. Some places advertise themselves. Empire doesn't. Its message is in what's missing: people, noise, and the ordinary mess of a life in progress. Empire became more than a place. It became a reference, what people point to when they talk about work vanishing, and how fast a town can follow. In most towns, people leave slowly, selling things, saying goodbye in pieces. In Empire, it felt faster, like even the yard sales didn't have time. When a building is gone, the absence becomes a shape. A blank slab is like a missing tooth, proof that something used to live here. The sun keeps rising on schedule. It doesn't care if a town is thriving or empty. That's part of the sadness and part of the truth. Some towns grew around culture, history, and choice. Empire grew around production, and when production stopped, the town showed what it really was: temporary. A school is the sound of a town's future. When the hallways go quiet, it's not just education that pauses, it's the feeling of next. Keys are supposed to mean access, home, work, belonging. In a ghost town, they become souvenirs for doors that don't lead to life anymore. Maintenance is a form of love, small repairs that say a place matters. When nobody is left to care, time takes over, and paint starts telling the story. Empire didn't explode or burn. It didn't end with a dramatic scene. It just left quietly, like a town slipping out of its own clothes. A door creaking in the wind is a small sound. In an empty town, it becomes the loudest voice, like the building is trying to remember people. The street still knows where to go: school, work, home, back again. It's the people who are missing from the pattern. Inside abandoned rooms, light does the storytelling. It shows every particle, every scratch, every hint that life once moved through here. Evening in Empire feels like the end of a long sentence. The day fades, the lights come on, and the town stays empty, exactly as it is. In places like this, dust becomes visible, turning sunlight into a moving memory. It's the soft proof that time kept going, even after the town stopped. A lock is built for return for someone coming back at the end of the day. Here, it protects nothing except the silence inside. Empire runs on desert time, now slower, wider, and indifferent. The days still change, the shadows still move, but nobody's schedule depends on it anymore. Empire isn't just a ghost town. It's a reminder that when one engine powers everything, a single shutdown can erase a whole way of life. What remains isn't just buildings. It's the outline of people's lives, workdays, birthdays, routines, still hanging in the air like a place refusing to be forgotten. Empire was built to serve a factory. When the factory stopped, the town became a question. What happens to a community when its purpose disappears?